Welcome to Geolingo, Breakpoint, the podcast where we explore the friction between political power, military technology, and the bureaucratic machinery of the state. Today, we dive into one of the boldest initiatives of President Donald Trump's current term, the Golden Dome, a missile defense shield designed to protect the United States from ballistic, hypersonic, or even space-based threats. The goal? To have it fully operational in just 3 years. But can a presidential vision materialize that quickly within a system as slow and fragmented as the U.S. federal government? Can political will overcome decades of legal, budgetary, and technical inertia? Let's unravel the tension between presidential time and bureaucratic time. What exactly is the Golden Dome? The Golden Dome is, in theory, a futuristic shield, orbital sensors, integrated artificial intelligence, kinetic interceptors, and armed satellites working in sync to detect and neutralize any threat crossing U.S. airspace. President Trump has presented it as a modern upgrade to Ronald Reagan's Strategic Defense Initiative, better known as Star Wars, but tailored to 21st century threats like Chinese hypersonic missiles or North Korean nuclear advancement. And he's promised it for 2029, 3 years to redesign the strategic defense of a superpower. What steps does the bureaucracy require for a project like this? It all starts with a budget. Not a dollar can be spent without congressional approval. Even under a unified government, defense funding takes 6 to 18 months to clear. If the Golden Dome's cost ranges from $175 to $500 billion or more, allies will still scrutinize it line by line. Then comes interagency coordination. The Pentagon, the Space Force, the Missile Defense Agency, DARPA, and intelligence agencies will all claim a stake. Aligning these players, defining leadership, and resolving jurisdictional tensions can take 1 to 2 years. Once that's settled, contracts must be awarded. Major players like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Boeing, and Northrop Grumman will compete, and sometimes litigate. Appeals can delay progress by 6 to 18 months. Even after contracts are signed, testing and prototyping is essential. No satellite, radar, or AI module can be fielded without validation. This takes 1 to 3 years, minimum, and no presidential order can bypass it without risking national security. Then there's regulation. Environmental and legal reviews, even for defense projects, must adhere to the National Environmental Policy Act, NEPA. Declaring a national emergency might fast-track some elements, but many reviews still require 6 to 24 months. Can the president break through these institutional barriers? President Trump has powerful tools. He can invoke the Defense Production Act, issue executive orders to prioritize contracts, bypass some environmental regulations under national security grounds, and tap into classified black budgets. But the system has structural limits. The Pentagon and contractors still operate under strict validation frameworks. Testing must happen. Certifications must be met. Large-scale funding still demands legislative sign-off. In short, the president can accelerate, but he cannot eliminate the system's checks. What if everything goes perfectly according to plan? Let's imagine the best-case scenario. The budget is approved in 2025. Federal agencies start coordination on day 1. Bids are awarded without dispute. Prototypes are developed immediately. Even then, by 2029, what's achievable? Perhaps a handful of prototype interceptors, orbital test sensors, initial AI integration into defense systems, ground-based sensor installations. In other words, a demonstrator phase. Enough for campaign optics, but far from the fully integrated shield promised. What can history teach us about ambitious defense shields? During the Cold War, Reagan launched the Strategic Defense Initiative with similar ambition. Billions were invested. Prototypes were built. Revolutionary technologies were explored. But the full system was never realized. Why? Because of cost overruns, internal disputes, legal friction, technological limits, and political changes. The Golden Dome faces those same risks. Is the Golden Dome just about defense or something more? The Golden Dome is more than defense hardware. It's a symbol of American dominance, of invulnerability, of restoring control over global threats. But can that vision survive Washington's machinery? The real question isn't whether America can dream it. It's whether it can build it on time. And that answer depends not on speeches, but on processes, institutions, and time. This was Geolingo, Breakpoint, where big visions collide with the slow machinery of institutional power. President Trump says the Golden Dome will be ready in 3 years. Reality: contracts, committees, agencies, lawsuits, testing, redesigns, and decades of bureaucratic friction. If you found this episode insightful, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And as always, thanks for listening.